This week, we're headed to Central Texas and meeting up with a hunting retriever club to learn about how hunters train their dogs to prepare them for the field.
We're in Central Texas, actually at the Central Texas Retriever Club, testing dogs today. We are judging finished dogs, finished as in what we consider a high school graduate in our dog games. Most of them are 2 to 5 years old. Some of them actually have run and passed the grand, so this is our pinnacle for our weekend hunt test, to run this test. This is our upper level classification. We have started dogs, which are all the way from 4 months old, all the way to, a couple of years old. Then they move to the transition level, which is what we call seasoned. Once they get their qualification there and their points that they need, they move to this level. It finished, and then once you get a hunting retriever champion title, which is what you're trying to achieve by running these tests, you are qualified to run our International Grand Hunt Test, which is our Super Bowl in tests. So they're run twice a year.
Let's take a look at these hunting dogs in action as they run through stage 1 of the finished dog course.
Benelli. Good girl, come on. Good job, bud. Look at you. You got a bird. Hey, hey. Ooh, look at you. Good. Over. All right, bud.
Now, as we highlight these skilled dogs on the training course, you may be asking yourself, what tools does HRC use to train dogs to learn commands from the start? Here's what the HRC pros have to say about the crucial role Garmin plays in their ability to train dogs.
Garmin is one of our legacy sponsors. They are our elite sponsor. Each club in HRC has an option to either get a e-collar or a transmitter receiver. Garmin donates one of those devices one a year to each club. So that's a huge investment from them. Their products are amazing. They're essential for training a dog to any level.
In my opinion, the use of an e-collar in training is to get necessary corrections that need to be made that you couldn't make without it. Your goal is to obviously get them to the point where without the e-collar on, they're gonna do what you're gonna tell them to do. And that's why putting it on and training with it, it can help them in hunt tests like this, where sometimes a dog is gonna be a dog, but they also know that if they have a collar on, in their brain they're thinking, oh, last time I did that, I got nicked. Probably not gonna do it again. So it just helps build their trust with you, I'd say, and to also just make them be honest is the best way to put it.
For years, Garmin has developed a line of dog training electronics and evolved those products to fit a variety of scenarios hunters would need to use them for, be it near a river, in a wide open field, and even in whiteout blizzard conditions. In the last year, Garmin debuted their most recent addition to their selection of dog training tools, the Delta SE, which gives the everyday user the opportunity to train their dogs like the pros.
I really like it for the clients. I really like being able to give them something and a tool that they know how to use and it's easy to use. Giving someone something that they're not going to use correctly, not a good idea. You don't want to burn a dog up on it or anything. But having the Garmin, it's super easy. There's only a couple buttons and you can't really mess it up. So it's pretty simple and easy to use.
So this little collar is good for your house dog that you just want to teach to maybe sit, or maybe you want him to heel better, walk closer to you in the park, all the way to this level, this finished level hunting retriever, or use it hunting. It's a great little collar, very simple, very easy to use.
We've reached the final stretch of hunt tests with the Central Texas Retriever Club. After dipping our paws in the pond, it's time to see what these trials look like on dry land.
Sit. Rosie! Hey, see me? Heel. Sit. Rosie! Good girl. Here. Heel. Sit. Sit. Rosie. Good girl, sweetie. Here. Here. Good. Back. Back.
And with that final retrieval, Rosie passed her last run of the day. Here's Glenn to give us some insight on how these tests are structured.
We were in Arkansas. We had multiple blinds that we sent our dogs on. We trained to run those. Again, we were trying to simulate a test out here today, so you saw us run blinds there. We also had marks where they saw them shot and fall in the field, and they had to go get them and bring them back to their handler. We had 2 dogs working there, so they had to work together. They couldn't fight over the bird. Same thing out here. We're simulating exactly what we saw in hunting season in Arkansas. Like I said, we try to replicate the test as best as we can to match what we might see in a hunting scenario.
Now that we've reviewed what levels of training dogs go through with the HRC and why these hunt tests are structured in a manner that mimic real-life hunting scenarios, you may still be asking, but why do I need an expertly trained hunting dog to begin with? Well, we all know well-trained dogs are fun to watch as they go tearing through the field to retrieve a downed bird. But what's even more important in any hunting scenario is bearing in mind that a well-trained dog is a safe dog. As hunters, we're all too aware that accidents can and do happen, and our friend Glenn is a living testament to this fact.
So, late 90s, I purchased a chocolate male with the intention of training him to be a duck dog. I'd had dogs all my life, but I had no idea how to train one. The dog was a couple of years old. In 2000, I was duck hunting on a lake a little bit north of Texarkana, Arkansas. 3 other friends hunting out of 2 boats, and this chocolate lab that I had bought and trained, or half-heartedly trained, was in the boat with me, and he was kind of the dog that wouldn't sit right all the time. He kind of roamed in the boat. He was not well trained, and that was my fault. I didn't put the time into him. We had a pretty good hunt, killed some ducks that morning. Around 11 o'clock, we decided that it's time to go in. The gentleman I was hunting with had left his gun loaded, propped up in the back seat of the boat. As we were banging around in the boat, it fell over and hit the side of the boat and discharged about a foot into the back of my left thigh, severing my femur artery and femur bone. When they got me to the hospital, they said my eyes were fixed and dilated. I was under complete cardiac arrest. 12 hours of surgery, 48 units of whole blood, and I was bleeding out. My blood wasn't coagulating. He said that the only chance I had to live was to amputate my leg and seal off the wounds the best we could and go from there. So that was the decision made by my family, which was a great decision. Started out with almost little to no chance of survival, and each day I got a little better. Stayed in there for 3 weeks in an ICU, a week in recovery. I went home, about a month of rehab. 3 months after my accident, I went back to work. Fast forward a little bit, I decided that the next dog that I got, I wanted to be a trained dog that would sit and stay and wouldn't be a hindrance to a hunt. So it was more important for me to have a more elite dog. No idea what Hunting Retriever Club was, but I knew that we had a local chapter. That group helped me learn how to train a dog and how to train a dog for hunt tests. So I was able to go back as an amputee and play the dog games along with everybody else. I didn't have a disability, so to speak. HRC gave me an outlet. I love it. I love the dogs foremost, the people right there with that. We all volunteer our time, and each club hosts events across the United States. So we have events going on today all across the United States with dogs from all the way from Canada all the way down to where we are.
The best way to get yourself involved with the Hunting Retriever Club is by going online to hrc.dog and finding a local club. Take it from Glenn. You don't want to risk any accidents when you're in the field, and joining the HRC community is a decision you'll never regret. Now, as we wrap up our day, we'd like to extend a warm thank you to the HRC for inviting us out to observe these dogs in action. And if you want to get your hands on any of these top-of-the-line dog training essentials, head on over to Garmin.com.